Here's Wagan. Kicks it out. Doliente, step back. Goes up. Yes! Here's Wagan. Kicks it out. Doliente, step back. Goes up. Yes! It has been a long Super Sunday, but the temperature still hits up in the country's premier youth basketball league. And to cap up our action-filled day, we feature the 18-under playoff duel from the North Division with Game 2 of the best-of-3 semifinal series between the number 2 seed Rizal Switch Fiber and the number 6 seed JT Bulacan Taipan. As we bring you the live coverage of the playoff games of the TMT Play Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. So, first 5 games are done. We are down to our last game, our game 6. It's between Rizal and Bulacan in the 18-under division. So, good afternoon everybody, or good evening rather. The name is Chop Pangilinan, still with Coach Noy Africa and with our courtside reporter, Miss Daphne Cristobal. So Coach, huge gap matchup in terms of seeding. Your thoughts?
I don't know about things starting to heat up. It's getting cooler up here in Ynares Center in Antipolo. But, you know, the higher seed winning game 1, trying to end the series right away. But, of course, JT Bulacan Taipan will try to do everything in their power to try and force that game 3.
Well, before we dive into that, let's first talk about game 1 where it was a lopsided victory for Rizal.
That's right. And in that game, they shot better from the field, 43% against 32% for Bulacan. 3-point shooting, 8 out of 27 for Rizal, 29%. Bulacan, 6 out of 32, but Russell Del Pozo, you know, their main gunner, only finished with 4 out of 15 from the 3-point area. And of course, points in the paint went in the favor of Rizal in that game.
And Bulacan will certainly have to do so much more than what they did in that game. But first, let's talk about the key players who stood out in that matchup.
And of course, for the Rizal Switch Fiber, it was Sean Antozo, number 11, their guard, who led them in scoring with 16 points together with 3 steals. And I truly believe the Rizal Switch Fiber goes where Sean Antozo will lead them. While on the other side, same situation for the JT Bulacan Taipan. Russell James Del Pozo, same thing. Bulacan will go the way where Russell James Del Pozo will bring them. Although he did finish with 18 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals, really struggled from the three-point area, only converting 4 out of 15.
And after talking about the players who stood out in that game, let's now talk about the players that stood out the whole season for their respective squads.
Well, actually, for the Rizal Switch Fiber, although I really speak highly of Sean Antazo, the leading scorer for Rizal, James Clarence Arcibal, averaging 12 points per game to go with 2 assists per game in Game 1, had 9 points and 2 rebounds together with 2 assists. But on the other side, Russell James Del Pozo averaging close to 21 points per game, 5 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals. But definitely in this game, he will need to step it up more, but also be able to involve his teammates and allow them to help him to force this Game 3.
And I certainly agree with that, Coach. And let's waste no time any further. Let's go to our venue announcer for the starting 5.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ynares Center City, Antipolo. Here we go for the North Division semifinals. Game 2, 18 under. It's a battle between Rizal Switch Fiber 18 under and JT Bulacan Taipan 18 under. Presented by TMT Play, Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL inaugural season. Introducing first the starters for the JT Bulacan Taipan 18 under. Playing guard number 1, Mark Russell Santos. Center number 23, Sebastian Ibuna. Shooting guard number 26, Kiel Gerald Baroga. Shooting guard 28, Nash Lawrence Gapak. Small forward number 30, Russell James Del Pozo. The head coach of JT Bulacan Taipan 18 under, Coach Jerwin Santos. And now, it's time to meet the starters of your Rizal Switch Fiber 18 under. Playing small forward number 3, Rainiel De Leon. Center number 10, Kurt Henrich Ramos. Shooting guard number 18, James Clarence Arcibal. Point guard number 24, Clark Ian Solis. Power forward 77, Jan Javier. The head coach of Rizal Switch Fiber 18 under, Coach John Wilson, assisted by Coach Tayron Hermoso and Darrell Solomon. The game's official of this match, your crew chief Bon Rancho, Justin Santos, and John Mahinay. This is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL North Division Semifinals, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
Your starting 5 for the Rizal Switch Fiber, their pseudo home court here. It's De Leon, Ramos, Arcibal, Solis, and Javier. Head coached by the Gensan Warriors basketball player, it's Coach John Wilson. And for the JT Bulacan Taipan, it's Santos, Ibuna, Baroga, Gapak, and Del Pozo. Head coached by Sherwin Santos.
And, you know, for Rizal Switch Fiber, they just want to continue whatever they started in Game 1, won by 22 points. And it was, aside from Antazo's 16 points, it was also a breakout game for Javier, who finished with a double-double with 12 points and 10 rebounds. While on the side of Bulacan, actually, yun nga, si Del Pozo having 21 points. Yeah, sorry, but Baroga also, sorry, he's averaging 21 points, had 18 in Game 1, but will need a lot of help. Ibuna close to a double-double, 10 points and 8 rebounds. And Baroga actually flirted with a triple-double in Game 1, 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists.
And not to start our ball game, but the second basket of this Rizal Switch Fiber, a power move brought to you by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL, courtesy of John Javier.
That's right. And if I'm not mistaken, he was the best player of Game 1. And let's see if he can continue here in Game 2.
Here is Baroga to Russell James Del Pozo to Santos. No good on that three-point attempt. Here comes the switch fiber. Solis, no good. Almost a rebound by Del Pozo. De Leon, though, gets a hold of it, but it will go out of bounds. Going to Bulacan.
So actually, that game, in game one, that was pretty much over very early. Rizal created the separation early and just had to sit on that cushion the rest of the way.
Now it's Bulacan. Great defense by Rizal. Sent it to the corner. Del Pozo for three. That won't go. Rebound here by Javier. Use it to De Leon. Inside. What maneuver for De Leon.
That's already the second basket for De Leon. Creating this 6-0 early lead for Rizal Switch Fiber.
Baroga. They are trying to find the inside. Intercepted that time. Santos. Unusual position for him. Here comes Rizal. Arcibal won't go. Del Pozo running up the court, sends it to the corner. Santos. Unusual or in the rare three-pointer from him, but takes it anyway and will miss.
No, Mark, Russell Santos is the emotional leader of this JT Bulacan Taipan team, and he will need to lead this team if they want to force this game 3.
Javier, no good on that right corner three. To the other side, and traveling violation called on Rizal. Timeout is called right here by Bulacan. It's 6-0. 6:37 remaining in the first.
Malayo pa, pero malayo na kung ilalarawan ni Head Coach Sherwin Santos ang kanyang koponan. Sabi niya nga sa akin in the previous months daw, grabe yung mga pinagdaanan nila. Pero in addition to that, two of his key players are actually feeling under the weather. Namely, baka ito nga si Russell Santos, pati na rin si Russell Del Pozo. Maybe yun din yung nagiging reason kung bakit up to this time, hindi pa rin sila nakakascore. So let's see on how they will perform in the next few minutes of this game. Pero sa ngayon, magpasalamat muna tayo sa TMT Play for being our constant companion dito sa Junior MPBL. Paalala lang that gaming is for 21 years old and above only. Kaya keep it fun mga kaliga, game responsibly. Parental supervision is advised. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that report. And both Russells not feeling themselves, but hopefully be able to still do something about it.
But going back to that insight for Coach Sherwin Santos, as we see Russell hitting on that two-pointer, being a number 6 seed and getting all the way to the North semifinals is already an accomplishment here for JT Bulacan Taipan, but cannot blame them for wanting more, and they're gonna have to do a superhuman effort here to try and force game 3.
Now, Bulacan trailing by 6. Under 6 minutes remaining. Baroga on the usual position for Santos being in the corner. Looks like he wants to get his shots up more than usual. This time, that's a miscue coming from Rizal.
Well, if you're Rizal, you do not want to play around with this JT Bulacan Taipan. Of course, you know, if Del Pozo heats up, that will make a completely different ball game. This is a completely different squad whenever Del Pozo heats up.
Now, great ball movement. Santos still in that corner. Looks like they have a different game plan as of now. Intercepted by Barroga. Fires for three. Bullseye for Barroga.
And Baroga will need to get his scoring up here, especially if Del Pozo is not able to heat up right away.
Rizal, what will they do? To the corner. That won't go for Arcibal. Rebound though by Javier. Whistle. It will stay with Rizal.
Itong si John Javier averaging close to 11 points and 6 rebounds with a breakout game with a double-double of 12 and 10.
Ramos, baseline inbound. Where will they go? De Leon now has it, fires for three. That is short. They get the offensive rebound. That won't go as well. Rebound by Russell James Del Pozo. He brings it down. Now it's Barroga to Russell. Now to another Russell. Santos, unusual shot. That won't go. However, he gets his own miss. Now to Russell Del Pozo for three. That won't go for RDP.
Well, in the last game, he was really just hoisting up three-pointers from the logo, and that made his three-point shooting percentage plummet. And let's see what Del Pozo can do here in game 2.
Del Pozo. That won't go again for Russell Del Pozo. Too strong. That was intended for Arcibal coming from Ramos, so he will be subbed out because of that. Di pa pwede yan kay Coach John Wilson.
That's right, and he brings in another one of his gunners, Sean Antazo. You're right. Right now, Bulacan not putting the ball in the hands of Santos. They're making him sit in the corner.
That is interesting though, because usually he really shines in the point guard position.
But at that time, able to manufacture 2 points off a floater. One of the shortest players here in the 18 and under division, but easily one of the biggest hearts as Sean Antazo announces his arrival in this game.
Make that a 4-point lead for Rizal. Santos, unusual shot, that won't go. A lot of shots being taken here by Russell Santos. I wonder if that's really the plan of Bulacan. Javier has it, gives it to Dita Blan. Fires for three, that won't go. Rebound by Javier. Or rather, that was another player as Santos. Stop and pop. Bingo for Russell Santos.
But you're right, this is not the normal volume of shots being taken by Mark Santos, but I guess they want to distribute the shots evenly now between the two Russells.
Antazo, short on that attempt. Rebound by RDP. Gives it to Barroga. Fires for three. That won't go. Rebound here by the Rizal switch fiber. Foul call on Barroga to stop that fast break.
So this is a much better effort for JT Bulacan Taipan, hanging around, only down by 2 points with less than a minute remaining in the first quarter.
So RDP will take a seat as there's just last 1 minute remaining in our first quarter. Rizal has it. Murillo takes it inside. Unsportsmanlike call this time on Mark Russell Santos. And a couple of scuffles right here. Mark Russell Santos not feeling it into this ball game, getting called for excessive swinging of elbow. Another look on what actually happened.
That actually happened off the ball.
So we saw Russell really swinging that one
Well,
up.
actually, he just barreled through that screen. It's interesting how Reyes was the one protecting Santos, his teammate. And of course, you like to see your teammates protecting your captain, your leader.
And you know that he did not do that on purpose because he was not even looking at the screen that time. So you know he didn't really mean to push.
Yeah, pretty much just barreled into the screen at that time. So things are being sorted out here. I think they called double technical fouls on, I think that was Reyes and either Javier or was it Balili. That,
Nonetheless, it's free throws.
nonetheless, Santos will need to sit for 3 playing minutes due to that unsportsmanlike foul called. But of course, the referees have been very strict about, excessive use of force.
And I think
Here.
that's for the best as well, considering Russell Santos isn't really having the best game so far.
And not known to be a dirty player too. So, that's just the referees trying to be consistent with the calls.
That time a conversion by Rizal, courtesy of Kwe.
Axel Kue, of course, he was one of the players that John Javier has gotten minutes from. And Javier has really come on late and has been a main contributor for Coach John Wilson.
Baroga takes it inside, that won't go. Another whistle for our officials. So it's free throws this time for Baroga. 16 seconds remaining in this first quarter. First one is good for Baroga. 5-point lead for Rizal. A chance to cut it to 4. And he does. So just 2 fouls for Rizal in this whole quarter. Props to them. Defending very disciplined.
So you're saying that itong Bulacan has not been very disciplined with their defense? Just kidding.
Off the mark that time from Murillo. And buzzer beater for Koe to convert it. But kita mo si Coach John Wilson still really telling Murillo to take his time in that one. But nonetheless, it's a win in the quarter here for Rizal, 17-11. Our TMT play move of the game. This RDP 30 mid-range jumper in the left elbow. That is good. That is money for Del Pozo. And again, it's a 17-11 quarter right here. 6-point lead by the Rizal Switch Fiber. Second quarter underway. We ended the first with a 6-point lead for Rizal. Right now, it's in the hands of Bulacan after a turnover from Coach John's boys. Bulacan, RDP sends it to the other side. Takes it outside, Baroga. Step back three. That won't go. Comes Murillo. Where will Murillo go? To Kue. Great defense by Bulacan. Kue forces that one up. That won't go. Rebound by Bulacan. Del Pozo has it. In the middle to Gapak. Back to Del Pozo. Thought about that three. Misfires on that one is number 4, Palomares. On the other side is Antazo. Tough shot. Still no good for Rizal. And a foul called on Antazo.
And Bulacan has been hoisting up three-pointers left and right. So far has hit 3 out of 6. But you know, the person really that we're looking at is if RDP will get hot soon.
And if anyone can get hot, I think it's certainly him. I actually covered him in this same arena where he scored 27 in 1 quarter. In the 4th, to be exact. So if anything, Ynares might be his place as RDP fires and hits a 3.
They really like it when we talk about them. As Del Pozo cuts the lead down to just 3 points.
Meanwhile, it's Rizal up by 3. Hands it off. Great defense by Bulacan. Sulit takes it inside, finds an opening, not able to convert. In the hands of Del Pozo. Gapak navigating the court. Foul called that time on De Leon. But now let's turn it over to Daphne Cristobal for a report.
Join Coach Noy, kanina nga nakausap ko si Head Coach John Wilson ng Team Rizal Switch Fiber, and he told me that usually he does not talk about motivation but rather discipline during huddles. As a playing coach, he explained the importance of extra work, mapa-shooting man yan or conditioning. Gusto niya na tumatak sa mga bata na yung disiplina sa sarili ang magdadala sa kanila sa malayong lugar. One wish for the team, and that is to practice and make it as a habit. So the big question is, will we be able to see that discipline tonight? Gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that report. And as someone who plays in the MPBL for the Jensen Warriors, I think it's a credible source that discipline is really the thing you need, not motivation.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, coming from a guy like John Wilson, kung di ka pa maniwala kay John Wilson, kanina ko pa maniniwala, di ba? But again, another point there was extra work. You know, if you just rely on team practices and do not do extra work, you're not gonna get that extra, what do you call this, extra step, an extra advantage against your teammates. You know, if you're just all relying on team practices, you're gonna stagnate at some point. But for you to be able to work on particular facets of your game, you cannot do it during team practices. You have to do that on your own, and you know, all the best players usually get better by working on their own.
That is correct, Coach. And the team practice coach, hindi naman kasi individually natututukan eh. But let's talk more about that after this timeout as Rizal is up by 5 under 7 minutes remaining in the second.
I'm here with Assistant Coach Daryl Salomon of Team Rizal. Coach, gusto ko lang po tanongin, ano po yung magiging motivation ng mga bata para makuha ang panalo ngayong gabi?
Sobrang excited kasi silang pumasok sa final. So, sabi nila sa amin kanina, ibibigay na nila yung pinaka-best nila ngayon. And yung discipline nila, kailangan ipakita nila ngayon. Kasi kung hindi nila gagawin yun, hindi mangyayari yung gusto nila.
Coach Daryl, meron po ba kayong gustong batiin ngayon or pasalamatan?
Gusto kong pasalamatan yung sumusuporta sa Rizal team and sa management namin kay Boss Glenn Anore, yung team owner. Team consultant namin si Raul Anore and si Boss Erickson and Red Compound.
Coach Daryl, and good luck po sa team ninyo. And syempre, pasalamat din tayo sa TNT Play for being our constant companion dito sa Junior MPBL. Paalala lang that gaming is for 21 years old and above only. Kaya keep it fun mga kaliga, game responsibly. Parental supervision is advised. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much for that interview, Miss Daphne Cristobal. And again, Rizal, you're the first seed. And you certainly have all the tools for you to advance. And I don't think you're going to waste it anytime soon.
And you know, it's one thing to want and another thing to do. Of course, Rizal Switch Fiber would want to not have a game 3, which they will have to play tomorrow. They will have to travel to Pampanga for a game 3. But on the flip side, itong Bulacan doesn't really have a choice. They want to make that trip to Pampanga, which is actually probably closer to them. And force that game 3.
Arcibal takes it inside. That won't go. Gapak all the way. Rejected that time, but recovered by Palomares.
So Bulacan has managed to claw back into this ball game, only down by 3 with more than 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Novales to Javier. They will take a three-pointer. That won't go. Here comes Santos. Tough shot. That won't go. Rebound by Javier. To Kue. Inside. That won't go. Kue with the follow-up. Third follow-up. Still no good. Del Pozo with the rebound. He is running. Kicks it out. Gapak for 3. That won't go. Rebound by Kue. Oh, here comes Rizal. But a steal here by Bulacan as they will step on the brakes.
Both teams have been playing sloppy the past few possessions.
Santos taking his time. Gets a screener right here. Takes it inside. Hits the side of the backboard looking for a foul. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's Arcibal missing on that fast break attempt. Santos gives it to Gapak as Del Pozo trying to get open. Palomares to Del Pozo. Takes it inside and Del Pozo will hit 2 from the line.
You like how Del Pozo is now not really settling for that 3-point shot in game 1, even if it wasn't falling by the end game. He kept on forcing that outside shot, and you see now that he earlier hit a basket going off the dribble, and right now earning a trip to the free throw line by driving inside.
On the line, it's Russell James Del Pozo, a 20-point per game scorer for the Bulacan Taipan. Misses the second one, so it's a 2-point lead for for Rizal still. So 3:32 remaining in this second. So it's Bulacan basketball. Del Pozo has it. A screen. Santos fires, and that Russell connection is good as that came off a Del Pozo pass. Timeout is called right here by the Rizal Switch Fiber. They are now trailing by 1, 3 minutes and 10 remaining in the second. Back to the ball game. 1-point lead for Bulacan after that Russell Santos 3-pointer of that Russell Del Pozo pass. However, Rizal Switch Fiber will say otherwise. So a 3-pointer courtesy of Novales.
And if you're Rizal Switch Fiber, you do not want Bulacan to hang around with you, especially with the outside sniping potential of Del Pozo.
No good that time. And another one. Another second chance points for Baroga.
And Baroga is a type of player that later on you realize that medyo masakit na yung contributions nga. You know, he almost had a triple-double in game 1. 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Same thing here for Axel Cue.
Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL, brings us a power move. And just another big for Rizal that they can utilize in Cue. Actually, they have a tall lineup, as I believe all players can really swing the rock and be versatile.
And Axel is actually one of those players na bonus whatever points you get out of him, because he is basically there to do the dirty work. Playing defense, getting those rebounds.
Baseline inbound by Rizal. To Novales, to Cue, top of the arc 3. That is short rebound here. Here's Baroga calling a horns play. Double screen. Where will they go? To the other side, Santos. They are trailing by 2. Santos bumps up the defender, gets that lucky bounce to go, and I think it's safe to say that to some extent, the volume of the shots that Santos has been taking is working for Bulacan.
And I think they're really just trying to distribute the points here, and so far that has worked. The game is tied at 24.
Rizal getting fouled there by Petalvero. Tied ball game right here. 1 minute remaining in the second.
And so far it has been Santos leading the way for Bulacan with 9 points, together with the 7 for Baroga and the 6 of Del Pozo.
Solis against Russell Santos. Antazo receives it. Mid-range jumper. That will not go. Baroga fighting for it. And Javier, but it will ultimately end up with Bulacan. Bringing down the ball is Petalvero, gives it to Baroga. What will they do? Horns play once again. So Santos receives it in the same spot and will fire for 3. That goes in for Russell Santos, and rare shot from him actually, but not in this ball game since he's been
Yeah,
taking
that's
it
right.
really a lot.
And those 12 points are his season average, already tying it in the first half.
So he's just showing us that he's more than capable of scoring those points. Nagkataon lang na teammate niya si Russell Del Pozo.
That's right. And so far in this game, 5 out of 13. Actually, I think the last time I covered Mark Russell Santos, he was the best player. They won the game in overtime, but that was like months ago. I was back in the elimination round.
Cue misfires on that first one. And he's trying to say that as long as your name is Russell, you can definitely put the ball in the basket.
I thought you were going to say throw bricks.
No good that time from Cue, so 0 out of 2. 3-point lead by Bulacan. Both teams in the penalty. Speaking of Russell, he goes into the ball game, but a timeout called right here by Rizal as they are trailing by 3. Last 11 seconds in our first half. back to the ball game. Last 11 seconds. 3-point lead here by Bulacan. What will Murillo do right here? Takes it inside. Try that drop pass. Doesn't get that to go. 1 second remaining. Barroga fires. Almost in. However, even without that bucket, he is a main contributor of this ball game. 3-point lead here by Bulacan as we end this first half. 27-24. Our TMP play move of the game. The sequence that Koe and one. And again, it's a 3-point lead here by Bulacan to end our first half.
Hello everyone, I would like to thank everyone for the support you've given for the inaugural season of the Junior MPBL. The support you gave to the league meant helping each young basketball player to have his moment to shine, and that is the aim of this league, to be an avenue for inspiring young bowlers to have his moment under the spotlight. Please continue supporting your home teams as we go along with the playoffs all the way to the championship. Maraming salamat po. We greet you on advance happy holidays and may God bless each and every one of you. Ito ang Junior MPBL, ang Liga ng Batang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
Pagbabago pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga. Nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan. Liga ng bayan na to.
Hello everyone, I would like to thank everyone for the support you've given for the inaugural season of the Junior MPBL. The support you gave to the league meant helping each young basketball player to have his moment to shine, and that is the aim of this league, to be an avenue for inspiring young bowlers to have his moment under the spotlight. Please continue supporting your home teams as we go along with the playoffs all the way to the championship. Maraming salamat po. We greet you on advance happy holidays and may God bless each and every one of you. Ito ang Junior MPBL, ang Liga ng Batang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
Pagbabago pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga. Nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan. Liga ng bayan na to.
Hello everyone, I would like to thank everyone for the support you've given for the inaugural season of the Junior MPBL. The support you gave to the league meant helping each young basketball player to have his moment to shine, and that is the aim of this league, to be an avenue for inspiring young bowlers to have his moment under the spotlight. Please continue supporting your home teams as we go along with the playoffs all the way to the championship. Maraming salamat po. We greet you on advance happy holidays and may God bless each and every one of you. Ito ang Junior MPBL, ang Liga ng Batang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
Pagbabago pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga. Nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan. Liga ng bayan na to.
Hello everyone, I would like to thank everyone for the support you've given for the inaugural season of the Junior MPBL. The support you gave to the league meant helping each young basketball player to have his moment to shine, and that is the aim of this league, to be an avenue for inspiring young bowlers to have his moment under the spotlight. Please.
So it's a 3-point lead here for Bulacan as we ended our first half. It was Rizal who outscored Bulacan in the first quarter, 17-11. However, Bulacan exploded with their own 16-point versus only 7 of Rizal in the second quarter. Coach Noy, your thoughts?
Well, from the field, it was Bulacan who shot better, 30% against just 28% for Rizal. And then a rebounding battle as expected, going the way of Rizal, 27-22 turnover. 8 for Rizal, 3 for Bulacan. Bulacan able to convert those 8 turnovers of Rizal to 7 points of turnovers against just 2 for Rizal. Bench points, 16 for Rizal, 2 for Bulacan. But you know, Bulacan relies heavily on the two Russells. And in the first half for Rizal, a surprise top scorer in Axel Cue. And then you have Mark Russell Santos for Bulacan with 12.
That time, it's Balili of that reverse layup. Make that just a 1-point lead for Bulacan. Bringing down the ball is Barroga. Barroga loses the handle. However, gets a foul and will shoot. Will shoot two from the line.
And also, if you're looking at the bench of both teams, itong Bulacan na has 10 players, while Rizal has 13 players. So Rizal Switch Fiber having a better complement of players that they can switch around.
That time, it's good. Make that a 3-point lead for Bulacan. As 1 minute passing by in our third quarter. Taking it inside, that won't go. Now it's Barroga with the rebound. Or rather with the swipe away. Santos stop and pop, that won't go. Unusual shot for him. I've been saying that a lot in this ball game, but obviously it's usual now.
I think that's part of the game plan for the Bulacan Taipan.
And it's working.
Yeah, and not really just letting Russell Del Pozo shoot everything, as Sean Antazo will score his 5th point of the ball game.
Again, back to a 1-point gap. Del Pozo for 3. That won't go for RDP. Rebound here by Javier. Is the one to bring it down as well. Coast to coast for the big man of Rizal.
And imagine having a weapon like that, being able to grab the rebound and go coast to coast for a layup. John Javier now with 6 points to go with 11 boards.
Russell Santos handling the ball outside. Takes it inside, finds his teammate underneath, not able to convert on that sequence. Here comes De Leon, intercepted by RDP. He'll be the one to bring the ball down. Fires for 3. Bingo for RDP 30.
Watching him play, parang walang konsensa talaga to si RDP. I mean, he was shooting the same way in game 1 despite, having a miserable night. But he just keeps on shooting his shot.
Walang konsensya indeed. This time, Javier scoring 2, tying the ball game up at 32.
And these are the kinds of players that you're really scared of, can really a wild card. And once they get hot.
Speaking of hot, I was about to say, Russell Del Pozo bullseye with that one. RDP 30 feeling it. It's not even the 4th quarter yet.
And if you're Coach John Wilson, you cannot really blame your player. He's shooting it from 2-way outside. And those are, there's a hand in the face, just not close enough, I guess. But you're going to give him that shot. That's a low percentage shot, but I guess when you're going up against RDP, you're going to have to throw away those percentages away.
And you see Coach John Wilson telling his boys to contest the 3-pointer. Russell Del Pozo being guarded by Arcibal, now by Cue. They don't want to let him even have a little bit of daylight from 3.
But Coach John Wilson, when he gets hot, he's pretty much like itong si RDP, although a little better with the shot selection, I guess. But when he gets hot, he can just shoot from everywhere. So maybe he's seeing himself right there. And that's why it's really frustrating for him.
And Mark Russell Santos will join the splash party. with a zone 3-point bomb. That is crazy.
You know, if that is contagious, I wanna get into the court and try that same shot.
Mukhang nag-appear ata tong dalawang to bago play na yun. This time, Del Pozo stops and pops. Doesn't go, hesitated a little bit. But still, I cannot move on from that Russell splash party.
This is a very interesting thing to see. I mean, I've seen this from somewhere. Yeah, for Mindoro, I think in the 14 and under division, Kanapi would shoot the same kind of shots.
Inside by Balili, that won't go. Second chance is good for Axel Kuwe. Now it's Baroga. Will he join the party as well? I don't think so. Or maybe he will. Kicks it out to Gapak rather. That won't go. Baroga. Kicks it out to Del Pozo. 5 seconds to shoot. Del Pozo inside. Traveling violation for RDP.
Well, if you're Rizal, I'd force itong si Del Pozo to put the ball on the floor.
And let's turn it over to Daphne for a report.
Earlier during the halftime, nabanggit sa akin, head coach Sherwin Santos na nagkukulang daw sila sa pick and roll and yung corner men daw ng team niya, they have to portray patience para mahahawak sila or makakuha sila ng possession. He even pointed out that they have to maximize their second chance points. Although he appreciates yung communication na meron ng team niya, hindi pa daw yun sapat. Don't stop until they're in control of the possession. And of course, of this game. Balik sa inyo, Cho and Coach Noy.
So pick and roll, the corner men, and the second chance points. Yun ang punto niya.
Yeah, that's right. You know, actually, if you play NBA 2K, that's really the way they play nowadays. It's just a top pick and roll, and you have corner shooters at both ends, and it's about those corner men staying patient just to keep the spacing. You know, the patience there needed to not move. You just wait. You're pretty much just sitting in one corner, parang pag napagalitan ka sa classroom. So you're just sitting in one corner waiting for that ball to fall to you. When the defense collapses inside, that's going to be an open shot. And of course, the corners are very important. It's supposedly, no, it is actually the shortest three-pointer on the court.
Right now, a steal there by Rizal. Balili gets the ball swiped away from him. However, Kwe recovers. And they will score on that bucket, courtesy of Arcibal. Gapak to Santos. I think because of the shots that Santos has been taking, he's become unpredictable. No good that time. Both teams wrestling for the basketball. It will end up with Arcibal coming from that Balili pass. Challenges Del Pozo. And a couple of free throws coming up for Arcibal.
Well, I think also for Rizal, it's important also for them to stay patient. What Bulacan has been taking and making are low percentage shots, and you just stick to your game plan at this point. And you know, if the averages hold true, those shots are not gonna fall all the way till the end. But I guess for Coach John Wilson, he's not willing to take that risk, especially with Del Pozo with unlimited range, and Mark Russell Santos also converting from the outside.
Mukhang pinapractice nila yung coach, no? Every after training, pustahan, 3
Silang
points.
dalawa lang.
Bawal sumali yung iba.
I wouldn't be surprised if they reach the thousands.
Actually.
But we're not talking about gambling here. You have to play responsibly.
And that time, speaking of, it's Russell Santos again converting. So I'm curious how many he got. It has 17 right now. So timeout right here as it's a deadlock at 40. 2 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the third. Back to the ball game. Deadlock at 40 last 2 minutes of our third frame. It's Rizal with the possession right now. Hue coming from Arcibal. What will they do? Arcibal has it. Fires on that one. That won't go for Ramos. Baroga. Outside, now to Santos. Russell Santos. What will he do? Takes it inside. That won't go. Rebound by Gapak. And what will Bulacan do? Last minute and 15 remaining. Santos short on that attempt.
Well, fatigue might start to be playing a factor here, especially for Mark Russell Santos. Already has attempted 19 times in this ball game.
Not to mention almost 25 minutes of action for him. But this time it's Arcibal getting fouled and will shoot from the line, or rather will get called for the foul. So it's Gapak who will shoot from the line.
And right now it seems like it's Bulacan who is playing pressure-free. I mean, they are the 6th seed going up against a 2nd seed, and that's really very scary for Rizal. Because this Bulacan team has nothing to lose, and they're playing like it, and they seem to be enjoying also this role of putting a scare on the switch fiber.
With that, it's a 1-point lead here by Bulacan under a minute remaining in the third. Murillo, a screen from Ramos, kicks it out. They will try a 3 from Dita Blan, but that won't go. Here comes Bulacan, almost losing it though as Baroga. Basket and a foul for Baroga. He does not like 3-pointers like the two Russells. As that is a power move brought to you by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL.
And with that basket, Baroga will join the two Russells in double digits. Santos with 17, Del Pozo with 12, and now Baroga with 11, shooting for 12.
Baroga, if he completes this 3-point play, he does. It will make it a 2-possession game. 32 seconds remaining. One more foul to give for Bulacan. Rizal on the penalty. Murillo gives it to Arcibal. Back to Murillo. What will they do? Takes it inside to Ramos. Stripped away by Santos. Russell Santos off the glass on that fast break. Good for it to make that 19 points for him. Here's Arcibal against Santos. Tried to beat the buzzer, but that won't go. So after 3 quarters, it's 46-40, a 6-point lead for Bulacan. And our TMT play move of the game is this sequence right here, that Baroga body bump, fast break, and one. Not to mention he converted that into a 3-point play. That is the reason why they are up by 6 after the end of 3 quarters. And we will be back for the start of the final frame. Start of the fourth is underway. 6-point lead by Bulacan. Three-pointer, no good from Rizal. However, Javier able to convert on that second chance point.
Well, you'd want a lot more coming from Javier, who hits, who has his double-double now with 10 points to go with 12 boards with that basket.
Baroga screen from Palomares. Great find to Palomares, however, traveling violation being the verdict of our officials.
So right now, if you're Bulacan, you do not want those kinds of turnovers.
Now it's Rizal's possession. Solis fires. That is quick. Good for the 3 points.
Well, so
Cut.
far, Solis has been a non-factor in this ball game. That was his first basket, a three-pointer at that, but could be a factor here.
No good for RDP. Only a 1-point lead for Bulacan. 1 minute has passed by into our fourth frame. Turnover right there for Bulacan.
So after only committing 6 turnovers in the first 3 quarters, already with 2 here early in the fourth.
It's now Solis to Antazo. Great ball movement here. Back to Solis. Great ball movement. Antazo fires on that wing area. Won't go. Both teams wrestling for it. Ends up with Bulacan. Santos to the other side. That was for Del Pozo. It will go with Rizal.
Heady play there from Clark Solis, bouncing the ball off RDP.
Solis bringing it down. Calling up a horns play. Used the right side. Solis once more. The left-handed bomb for Solis.
So we've had a lot of shooting displays in this ball game, and it's now Clark Solis' turn to join that party.
Santos, though, tried to answer back but won't go. Antazo able to cross the ball. Javier thought about that three. Spin move. What maneuver can possibly be smoother? Not to mention, there was a foul, so that is a power move brought to you by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL.
Going on the spin cycle, tapos umupo pa sa ere. That is literally what they call the umupo sa ere.
Nagkape sa ere, umupo sa ere, whatever you call it. It's still a bucket for Rizal. Now up by 5. 2-possession game. Timeout is called right here by Coach John Wilson. Under 8 minutes remaining. Back to the ball game. It's under 8 minutes remaining. 5-point lead here for Rizal after ending that first half trailing by 3.
And an 11-0 start for Rizal here in the fourth quarter has given them this 5-point lead.
Del Pozo trying to find an opening. Will gamble. That won't go for RDP.
I don't think that was a gamble anymore. He's been shooting the same shot all game long.
Just business as usual for RDP. This time it's Balili firing. That won't go. Rebound by Russell Del Pozo. Brings it down. Baroga, his turn. Still no good for Rizal after almost 3 minutes of action in the fourth. Javier sends it to the corner. Solis. That won't go for the lefty. Here comes Russell Del Pozo. Ebuna. No good. Hits the under of the backboard.
I think at this point, Russell Del Pozo is just trying to control himself from taking that shot each and every time down. They actually made a run when they played, a little loose, just taking those wild shots.
Del Pozo has it. Sends it to the other side. Baroga. Still no good for Bulacan. It's not looking good for them at all. Almost 4 minutes of action passing by. Rejected that time. Russell Santos this time. What will he do? Tough shot. That was intended for his teammate underneath. De Leon stopping. Solis. Horns play once more. The lefty fires. I almost thought that went in.
Nothing but net. Literally just the net. Did not go through the hoop.
Under 6 minutes remaining.
But more than anything, that was a heat check for Clark Solis after hitting 2 3-pointers that I think has pretty much been the catalyst of this fourth quarter run for Rizal.
Yeah, Clark Solis, more like Clark Son. At that
Or
time,
Clark Kent.
Superman naman yun.
That
However,
is Superman. That right there is Superman.
I was about to say it. Speaking of super, RDP hits a three-pointer on that left wing area.
Well, he may not be Superman, but he has the confidence of Superman for sure.
So RDP never fails to give us or to show us his range.
Miss or make, he keeps on showing us his range. And I feel like this is really the way Bulacan will have to play the rest of the way. Wild, loose. And I don't think Rizal can do anything with the way Del Pozo and Russell Santos have been just tumitingin na lang na wala konsensya, nabubulol na ako. Just really entertained by how Bulacan has played this game.
No good from Solis. And I agree with you, Coach. It's working for Bulacan. Obviously, Mark Russell Santos has been loose this ball game. So it's not a bad decision if ever they will decide to go that route. As Del Pozo fires, that won't go. Rebound here by Javier. One-on-one with Baroga. Great defense that time for Baroga. Not to mention, he also got a foul from Javier. Great sequence defensively.
And for a lot of instances in this ball game, we've seen John Javier just dribble all the way to the rim. So it's nice that Baroga finally making a stop there.
Baroga. A screen from Palomares. Gives it to RDP. Quick pass to Mark Russell Santos. Coach John Wilson instructing them to close out. However, it's still a bucket from Baroga.
That's really a result of the attack, the aggressiveness coming from Mark Santos, allowing Baroga to get that putback.
Antazo, quick fire. That won't go. Del Pozo got the ball but will get fouled.
Right now for Rizal Switch Fiber, they cannot allow themselves to play at the pace nor the strategies being used by Bulacan. They're gonna have to show a lot of discipline, patience, and allow themselves to execute their plays. Bulacan not really having that luxury at this point.
It has been a Baroga show so far. However, Del Pozo fires, that won't go. And I like what you said, Coach. Itong si Baroga, silent killer to eh. Traveling violation that time.
And looking at his stats now, already 14 points to go with 7 rebounds and an assist.
So it's kind of unusual box score for Bulacan. No? I'm just used to seeing Russell Del Pozo with 30 plus points. Now it's Santos, Baroga, and Del Pozo all with 12 plus points.
And right there you have Santos getting a steal and a foul. So that is going to be the third team foul for Rizal. Only 2 for Bulacan. And we're tied at 51.
Now, Baroga once more looks like he has been the primary ball handler because Santos has been moved to a shooter position. But it's not like Baroga isn't shooting shots either. Now it's Russell Del Pozo. Forcing that one up. That won't go. Shoot your shot indeed. But that doesn't go for him. And traveling violation for Gapak.
This is a very entertaining ball game.
Deadlock right here at 51. A timeout called by Coach John Wilson under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth and final frame. Back to the ball game, deadlock at 51. Under 3 minutes remaining. Inside, Balili gets a foul. It's Gapak called on that sequence.
Well, for Coach John Wilson, it should be a welcome sight for him coming off a timeout. His players able to execute, with Balili now getting to the free throw line to try and break this deadlock at 51.
First one is good for Balili. 1 point lead for them. Second one. Good. Make that a 2 point lead for Rizal. Baroga. Safe to say the point guard of this matchup. Russell Santos off the back iron. Gapak with the rebound. Gives it out. Del Pozo for three. That is short. Russell Santos, unlikely rebound. Crazy sequence right there.
you've been using a lot of adjectives, mostly unusual. This is the first time you said unlikely.
Sunod Coach Tagalog naman, no? This time, it's Rizal. It's a tied ball game yet again. Balili, though, finds an opening for two.
In the past two plays, they've gone to Balili and he has delivered.
Last 2 minutes of this ball game. Takes it inside, that won't go. Russell Santos battling inside. And another conversion for Palomares and Bulacan.
And you like how comfortable Mark Russell Santos is. Inside with the trees, did not panic. Is able to find a teammate wide open, and we are tied at 55.
And I like how Coach John Wilson is really just doing everything. You know, kita mo yung pag-remind niya. Antazo naman, bumawi. Coach John Wilson, babawi ako sa'yo with that 2 points.
This would be a really frustrating game to coach for Coach John Wilson.
Maroga kicks it out. Gapak. Screen from Palomares. Another screen. But that won't go. Palomares still has it. Maroga. Crazy shot. That won't go. Here comes Solis. They are up by 2. Last 53 seconds remaining. Offensive foul called on Balili. That is big. And Coach John Wilson, again, is not liking it.
I think these are the kinds of games that he wishes that he didn't try to get into coaching. This is really, you know, Bulacan has been scoring off a broken plays. They've been scoring on wild shots, and well, as much as it's very entertaining to watch, I can just imagine how hard it is to coach against a team like this.
Last 42 seconds remaining. Santos has it. Del Pozo, crazy shot! That won't go! And Baroga tried to save it. Could have been big for Russell Del Pozo. However, they still have a chance. There's still a 7 seconds differential.
All they need to do is make a stop here.
Maybe call a timeout immediately after the shot. Arcibal. Or if you're Rizal, you want to score and seal the deal. Arcibal has it. Inside to Balili. He misses. Both teams fighting for the basketball. Oh, it will go to Bulacan, so they will have 10 seconds to tie this ball game up or to get the lead. And crazy sequence coming from both teams.
And expectedly so, we're gonna hang on the air. Down by just 2 points ang JT Bulacan Taipan, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go for the win here. They have a guy like Russell Del Pozo, but also you can use him as a decoy and try to send this game into overtime.
However, remember, Coach, they are on the verge of ending their season. So that is a big gamble if ever they go for the win.
Well, with the way they've played this whole ball game, they've gambled with pretty much their playoff lives here. I wouldn't be surprised if they make that one final gamble that could pay off. But if you're Rizal Switch Fiber, you're gonna have to be very careful about the other guys.
So anything is possible right here. So it's Ibunya on the sideline inbound.
You see Javier checking in for defensive purposes. And Ibuna will come out for Gapak.
So it's Gapak. Baseline or sideline inbound. What will they do? 8 seconds remaining. Del Pozo has it. What will they do? Fires! Oh, that won't go! And Bulacan ends their season. However, with Rizal, they will go to the next round with this W, a 2-point W. A close 2-point W for Rizal, 57-55. That was crazy. And you were right, Coach. They did gamble on that Russell Del Pozo 3.
And I think, that was a fitting way for them to end their season. This low percentage kind of ball game here in Game 2 was really very entertaining. And they lose by only 2 points, but will end their season with that shot, that miss from RDP.
TMT play move off the game, that smooth maneuver from John Javier. Certainly the reason, or one of the reasons why they are in, or they have gotten the W. And actually for Bulacan, still props to them, a lot of contributors in their squad. Not only it was Russell Del Pozo, the usual suspect.
Russell Santos, of course, stepping up here. Also Baroga finishing with 14, Santos with 21, Del Pozo with 15. But still very entertaining loss here for Bulacan, but props to Rizal for advancing to the division finals.
And let's turn it over to Daphne Cristobal for our TMT player of the game.
John Javier, 13 points, 14 rebounds, double-double performance para sa'yo. Congratulations sa'yo, pati na rin syempre sa Rizal Switch Fiber. Gusto ko lang tanungin, ano pa ba ang dapat abangan sa team ninyo?
Ipagpapatuloy po namin yung nasimulan namin, tsaka mag-ensayo po kami para sa darating na finals, tsaka kukunin po namin ang kampiyonato para kayo Kuya Jan.
John, meron ka pa bang gustong pasalamatan ngayon or batiin?
Unang-unang po sa lahat, marami po salamat sa Panginoon kasi ginabayan kami sa larong ito. Tapos, binabati ko nga po pala yung mama at papa ko, kapatid at pinsan, tsaka Tito Dino at Tita Janice, Papa Max, Boss Alvin, Boss Makoy, teammate sa EDR, Ragian family, Dumayog family, Kabatan family, Shobal family, Sir Rodel at Mama Enalyn, Elaine Margaret, tsaka yung kuya mo na si Ernest Vincent, Jorlan Sarmero, Alvin Estrande, Bagaw Kids, Enrico Chaval, Davin Dumayag, John Colin Dumayag, CJ Gamata, tsaka Ansel.
Once again, of course, congratulations, John. And of course, i-invite din natin ang inyong head coach since kayo ang kokompleto para sa ating playoff final, specifically dito sa North Division. A huge congratulations para sa Rizal Switch Fiber. There will be no Game 3. A huge congratulations to you and syempre sa buong coaching staff. Thank you so much and congratulations once again. That's our player of the game. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Daphne, for that interview of no other than the best player of the game, John Javier. Double-double machine. Will certainly need to complete that, considering they will face a much harder opponent. But still, props to RDP 30 and to the whole Bulacan squad for putting on a show not only during this game and not only during this playoffs but during the whole elimination season. It has been an honor to be able to cover the squad. I was really entertained whenever I covered not only Russell Del Pozo but the whole team of Bulacan. And for Rizal, again, huge congratulations for them. But that's it for our 6-game slate this Sunday. So thank you very much for everyone who supported the games today. And thank you very much to our production. Thank you very much to everybody who made this possible. In behalf of Coach Noy Africa and in behalf of Miss Daphne Cristobal, it's Chop Pangilinan here wishing everybody a very good evening.
Please join us for our closing ceremony.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Once again, good evening to all of you. Thanks for joining us here in Ynares Center, Antipolo City. Thanks for watching Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL inaugural season, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.